Okay, so today's stick is a bit of a mystery, especially as to the size. But what we have here today is the Reposada Estate Blend 96. As you can see from there it says Connecticut. And it says that on both sides of the, so I'm guessing this is a Connecticut wrapper. Uh, there you see it. The wrapper color, as you can see from that, is pretty evenly colored. There's not much variation in color. It's a good, solid, light, well, as I'm looking at it, I can tell. It looks much lighter on the video than it actually is in person. It's more, that gives you kind of like a very light brown color, where it's actually more of a medium brown. It's a little further towards the dark end, but that looks nice. I like the way that looks. There's the foot. Right, nice grain. And as you can see, there's some variation in the leaves there in the foot. There's some lighter leaves and darker leaves. There's the tip. Nice blunted tip. Construction is good and solid. Nice. I'm not feeling, well, maybe right there. There's a little bit of a void. Or just a little slightly softer spot, but it's pretty much solid around it. The rest of it's pretty solid. Definitely not sweetened, just a good cigar flavor. And because we have a nice blunt tip, we're going to use the small cutter. And I was trying to do this, but my situation set up right here. I'm out at the cabin. As you can see behind me, I'm on the porch of the cabin. Got nice light right here. I mean, I'm looking at what I'm seeing in the video, and it looks really nice. But it's a little windy. It rained a little earlier. It looks like it may rain again. Maybe while I'm doing this, I'll turn it around and let you see the other side. Well, why not? Let me just do that. Let's see what happens. Okay, well, you're seeing the grass there, so let me bring this around. There is the lake. You can see there's some cattle on the hills over there. And somewhere on this lake, if you can, there's a honker. Saw Canada geese fly in last night, a pair of them. Oh, I think I see one of the geese over there on the bank of the, but yeah, so there's that. And that little black dot right directly in front, a little bit right of center, right towards the top there, sitting on the top of a stalk of that marsh grass, whatever that is. Looks like cattails. That is a red-winged blackbird. You see them quite often in marshy areas. In fact, there's another one off screen over to that side. Well, it's a pleasant evening. All right, so let's turn this back, see what we're doing. All right, so we're going to give this thing a punch. And that's how I always do it. I always want to go all the way through, all the way down. That not only cuts through the wrapper and the binder all the way through to the interior, the inner smoke, but it also kind of like gives you direct access to that interior. Yep, there they are. There's a couple of honkers there. Oh, so there must be a couple more, because I'm seeing one over there, and I'm seeing that couple right there. Yep. And they're calling back and forth to each other. Looks like the one on the bank does not have a mate. There's not a second goose over there. There are two on the lake, a little further over. All right, so when I talked about mystery, basically the size. I'm not quite sure what to call this. Is it a Churchill? It's a 7-inch, but I think it's only a 50 ring. I don't really think but it's a 7-inch cigar. All right, so let's give it a cold draw. Yeah, it's interesting because in the previous review, I was saying that cigar had almost an entire flavor profile of old leather with almost no wood flavor in it. This is the exact opposite. I'm getting a lot of wood flavoring, cedar, toasted wood, but almost no leather. Yep. A little dry. I need to get a drink. I'll be right back. Hang on a second. Just pop into the cabin here. Okay, I'm having a mug of oolong. Actually, this is that free tea they give away at Chinese restaurants. They have a bowl of it up front. You just take which I believe is oolong tea. But it's that common generic giveaway. I happen to find it in my package of in my coffee and tea package, and so decided, well, what the heck. So that and I like to brew my tea very strong, and there's also about a teaspoonful of local honey. I was about to get started on a rant about honey, but never mind. I'm just going to have a drink. That's pretty good. Kind of surprising. I thought that would be, because I don't know how long it's been in there. But apparently tea keeps for quite a good spell. All right. So let's give the foot a toast and get a nice draw. And the draw is got that good ratio of free airflow and restricted airflow. That's what you want in a cigar. I once bought a couple of 7x70 cigars. There goes the red-winged blackbird. And it was like trying to suck through a straw. One of those large McDonald's type straws. It was just, there was no air resistance. There was no resistance. It just, and don't really get a lot of smoke with that kind of a setup. So I have basically stayed away from any overly large. 60 is about as high as I'll go. I don't want anything larger than that. And in a 60, I'd rather it was a shorter cigar, a 4 or 5 inch cigar rather than a 6 or a 7. Would this then be a Rothschild? Is that the size that I'm dealing with here? There you see, there's a little bit of a, what is that? That's a nick. No, that's a little discoloration. See that there. All right. Wind's picked up in the last few minutes. I'm not sure how Maybe this cycle will go through and the wind will drop for a few seconds and I can... Oh, there. Okay, let's try this. There we go. All right. A little palate cleanser, and then we'll give it a nice good draw and see what comes up. Here we go. Yeah, like I said on the cold draw, very strong flavor of cedar wood, toasted cedar wood. But I am getting a bit of that leather, sort of like a flavor note in the background there. At this point, not much else. It's pretty much it, which is good because I enjoy the flavor and aroma of wood, cedar wood. Oak has its own particular aroma. What else? There's at the moment I'm drawing a blank on other aromatic woods. It is very mild. Something you... yeah, the flavor is definitely not overpowering. Well, it's been nice up here at the cabin. I am a little disappointed because we're not actually up in the mountains. We're quite a distance from the mountains, but we are, in a kind of like centralized area where if you're into a lot of outdoor activities, you can do this. And this place, apparently from my drive-through yesterday, exists primarily as a place for people with motor trailers or the van homes. I don't know, whatever. Some of them are self-driven, some of them are towed, and from the way the areas are built up, apparently you come in here and can stay for extended periods of time. And I haven't had the ability to start a campfire, which is the reason I wanted to come up here. I wanted to be able to sit around a campfire at night. But getting local wood would be too much of a chore. And I can hear the spring peepers, but they're not as loud tonight as they were last night. But it's a pleasant spot as long as I don't look too close over. I mean, over there to my left, there's a building of some sort. Looks to be with an outdoor pavilion. Maybe it's a meeting hall of some type. event hall. But as long as I keep my vision away from that section and go this way, all the way to the back here, all the way back there, all I see is nature. And that's nice. And I got a nice view of the lake in front of me. I was a little disappointed when I pulled up and I saw this. And I was like, this is what they call an executive cabin. And from the outside, it's very plain, but the indoor is really nice. Small, but, you know, what do you need for just a couple of nights? So I'm getting a good draw, getting a good volume of smoke. Nice taste. And the red-winged blackbird is back down there on his perch. It looks like there's another one that's a little further the other way. I don't see anything over here. And the geese are gone. I don't know where those honkers went, but and we got low-hanging dark gray clouds speeding through the area. It's interesting from the way that they look. It looks like they're only a few hundred feet above the ground, but I happen to know that they're at least 3,000 feet. That's cloud base, give or take a few hundred feet here and there. Now I'm getting a little mist. Temperature's not too bad. It's a little on the chill side, but it was pretty high earlier, and I think it got up to 85, 87. Now I think it's closer to around 75, maybe a little lower. And that rain is definitely cold. Well, I guess because I really can't think of much more to say except, you know, good cigar. Come to think of it, I don't think I've ever done a bad cigar on these reviews. Nothing I would ever say, nah, I wouldn't recommend. Almost everything I've smoked here. Then, of course, I do happen to be pretty selective in what I smoke. I like to be adventurous. I like to try things I haven't tried before. And probably the area of cigars that I have very little experience with are the full-bodied cigars. There's a sound. What is that? There's an animal? I don't know what that is. But anyway, yeah. So I that, and also the higher priced. I think the most expensive cigar I ever bought was one of the what is the name of that? But it's the Drew Estates. Their special blends. The one that is just the name escapes me at the moment, but uh, I'm sure you probably know what I'm talking about. Um, and I think that was only like $23 for a stick, and I've never paid more for a stick than that, and will not. I'm not, you know. Um, Now I may have, unbeknownst to me, smoked a more expensive stick. I've had people give me sticks, and oh, you know, it's the rain is really beginning to get uh, abundant. So I'm gonna sign off. See ya. Enjoy a good smoke.